everyone, it's Sharonda from Pair of Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing Power Book 2 Ghost, Episode 10, Heart of Darkness, the season finale, and y'all, they did not have to go so hard. They didn't have to go hard on us like that. I didn't know that they were going to give me half of the things that they gave me that I didn't know that I needed at the time, how they blessed my soul with this season finale. There were multiple times throughout this episode that I literally thought like, oh, okay, it's finna end, and they were like, nah, sis, this just the beginning, okay? We just give you a little taste. We're finna give you a little bit more. And I was here for every single moment of it. So let me get into this week's episode. So we see that with Monet, she ends up going to meet up with Rico. And I was like, dang, I forgot that, like, you know, he definitely just tried to kill her in last week's episode. Shot Drew in the hospital. She was all upset. And then I was like, so sis, like, you was really just gonna just try to give him money because your husband said so? I was side-eyeing Monet like, sis, like, let me get this straight for a moment that you thought that was gonna be okay. But we saw that she took care of it. She went ahead and iced him. Did you say ice? Is it ice? She killed him. Y'all, I'm not even gonna get started after the whole Captain debacle on the last live that we did. So we see that Tasha ends up going to Monet to ask actually no, because I got to talk about how Tasha got out in the first place. So I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna let it go. But we also see while Monet is taking care of Rico, we see that Kane is disposing of Detective Ramirez's body. I was like, dang, I forgot he killed her police boo last week's episode. I was like, all these people died, and I totally forgot about it. I was like, where was I at to not remember this? But we see that at this point, everyone is turned away from Kane. And, you know, we see with his mom, with Diana from last week's episode, but also, too, Drew was the last person that he had. Drew was the one who was always trying to make peace between him and Monet. But we see when he goes to visit Drew in the hospital, he was just like, no, I'm done with you. And I love how, like, everyone's trying to help him see the error of his ways. Like, it's you. You are the common denominator for all of these things that are happening. And I just don't understand. Why are you so upset? They should play that, why you so obsessed with me? Like, Kane, let it go with Tariq. Like, he ain't even worried about you like that, and you tried to kill him, but you still talking about him. I was just really confused, but it is what it is. So during the conversation, he hints to Drew what he did to Ramirez. Started like, now, sir, it was one thing for you to mess up your mama business, but you messed up the only person that was blowing your mama walls out, blowing that back out, and that's like, I don't know about y'all. I don't know how long you've been in this pandemic like me, but if my parents are watching, I'm not talking about sex because I'm a virgin. But if you got rid of the only person that was knocking the dust off of my walls, we would have had something to talk about. We would have had beef, okay? Like, it would just been like, we got to fight. So we see that Tariq is back to where we found him in the first episode of the season. He running all across campus. And I was like, sir, why you running that nice suit? He looks so nice, so handsome. And I was like, your suit probably all sweaty, running across campus and stuff. I don't even know if you bathed that day. But he finds out that class is canceled because the two raggedy doctors, professors, just both need to lose their jobs. They have been interviewing the students surrounding the dead body that they found after the basketball game against Yale. So I saw Lauren trying to get her little good thing back, talking about, you want me to go put on some clothes? I'll go to the courthouse with you. And I was just like, girl, just let it be. Like, I'm not even, the way that he talked to you, I wouldn't be giving Tariq the time of the day, but it is what it is. But we see that he was subpoenaed to actually go testify. Sax is up to his little dirty, raggedy tricks as he always is. But I was so here for this because when he called him up on the stand, honey, Sax just knew he was finna end him. But when he basically said, like, he was asking him, like, do you know if you saw Tasha? He was like, no, I didn't see her, but I do remember seeing you with a gun at Truth. And I was like, ooh. And then he was looking shook. And then David's looking like, little raggedy behind. Because, you know, Sax tried to bribe him because Steven, who's over the DNC, he was basically telling him, like, you need to use this information against David. So when Tamika gave him that look with her wig, I was just like, the way that y'all done right by Tamika and her hair in this season of Power Book 2 Ghost is like the outfits, everything. Sis is just giving me her entire life and I'm here for it, slaying every single look. But the way that she gave him a look like, didn't I tell you this is going to come and bite you in your behind? And then essentially when he also brought up the recording about how he was drugged and all this stuff, I was like, Tariq, tell it all, Tariq. Tell it all, Tariq. Okay? Tell them, because he needs to know not to mess with you anymore. So the way that Steven had that face, though, when I tell you that Steven read everybody for filth, they basically said, like, hey, we need to go to the chambers. The judge looking like, I think we do. Like, what is happening? But when Steven didn't have to come in that lady office and tell her to get the hell up out of her own office, I said, sir, you could just be like, hey, judge, girl, sister, girl, like, can you just excuse us for a moment while I get in their ass real quick? But he kicked the little typist lady out. I forgot the real name, y'all. Just bear with me. And then he kicked the judge out. I was like, wow. But the way that he went off on everybody and said, look, this is what we're going to do. And the way that Davis, little raggedy behind, just already saw an opportunity for himself. So he ended up telling them that essentially for Tasha to get off, she has to sign this paper, then put her in WITSEC, admit that Tommy is the leader of the organization, that Tommy's responsible for Ghost's death, and then, you know, she has to name everyone in the entire organization. And I was like, Tasha, you out here snitching? Like, that's what we're gonna do? We're gonna start snitching? But she agreed to it. Everyone pressured her into it. And I was like, sis, now you know Tommy gonna kill your ass doing all of this. What are you talking about? But it happened. They get her out. And then we see that Davis basically staged this whole press conference trying to make him look good. I was like, he's so raggedy. He get on my everlasting nerves. I was so happy that old girl left him, because I was just like, he was trash, sis, and he was gonna never leave his wife for you, baby. Never, ever. You making him all this money, you letting him disrespect you like this. Couldn't even tell you what was happening when the case, and almost got you implicated, sis. You deserve better than that. So I also had a question. So we see that Yasmin is there, and Yasmin has aged like a whole 5 years. Did I miss something? I know they don't show us Yasmin a lot, but I know a lot of time hadn't elapsed from Power, because they literally had Ghost's funeral in the same dang on season. So I am just a little bit confused as to how Yasmin was almost as tall as her mama. She was like, literally, she was like an 8 or 9 year old. And I was just highly confused. I said, Lord, I know that I've been missing in action, but I also know that a whole 5 years has not gone by since the first time of the season, judging by the fact Tariq is still in his first year of school. So I was really confused by that. Y'all let me know if it looks something crazy to you. But I was like, Yasmin, who this? Who this? And are y'all going to continue to hide her in the future seasons? Because it's really getting ridiculous at this point. So we see that also too. So during all of this, after he gets that taken care of, he tells Diana, no, I got that wrong. No, I had that right. So Zeke actually went to go tell Tariq what happened at the club, and he basically says that like people mentioned Drew's name, stuff getting a little hot, and so he calls Diana, he talks to her, and he's talking about, I got you. And I said, sir, how you got Diana when you literally about to run away with your mama, because Tasha was like, we gonna run away together and we're just gonna escape this. I said, how, Sway, are you giving all these fake promises to people? I was just confused. And where's Effie? Curtis was supposed to love me. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But yeah, so we see that he ends up having a conversation with Brayden, because Riley, all raggedy behind, came up to him because she actually did love him. And I was happy that later in the episode, Tariq was able to admit that to Brayden, that Riley did love you. She was just effed up at the same time with what she was trying to like get me on. But she tells him that like Tariq is dangerous and like you're gonna get hurt. And I was just like, you know what? As much as I hate Riley's guts, she has a point there. But he's having this conversation. Brayden goes to talk to Tariq, and basically Tariq says, hey, like, even if I don't want to do course correct, like, you can take that over for me. And I guess this is when Tariq still had it in his mind that he was going to run. But I knew from the beginning of the episode that child wasn't going nowhere. He wasn't leaving all that stuff behind. But what was confusing me was, what was really confusing is Jabari. Let's talk about Jabari, because Jabari needed to die. And I know I said that a couple of weeks ago, that he needed to die before the first season was over. Because to be honest with you, both these professors getting on my nerves. Like, I just want Monique to like beat the brakes off Carrie, because it's just really ridiculous. Actually, no, before I get on Jabari, let me talk about Carrie real quick, y'all. Let me talk about Carrie. Carrie, what school you working at that they finna let you wear this black dress, this tight black dress? It didn't even look like you had a bra on. You got your size out, your size showing. Then when you sat down, you had a slit with some knee-high boots. Carrie, ain't nobody let you wear that at the school, sis. Who? I was like costume design. Who said this was okay? What school have you been to that at a Ivy League college that they're letting this beautiful black woman seduce these kids with her sides out, with her sides out, with her knees out, okay, with the side of her thigh out? Haven't make sense for me. I was so confused, and even when Zeke kind of grabbed her, I said, I can't even blame him because, Carrie, it looked like you trying to seduce the whole school with this outfit. And then Jabari looking like, that's who you've been sleeping with. And I was just like, I can't even be mad at how you just got caught because, like, what do you have on right now? So, and there's nothing wrong with the woman being sexy. It's just we're at work. That just wasn't appropriate. Y'all know that when y'all saw that, y'all was like, Miss Carrie. Now, Professor Carrie, what you got on Professor Carrie? What you doing, girl? So, Jabari raggedy behind. So, he calls Tariq into his office. I was really confused. Like, Jabari just deserved to die because the poor choices that Jabari has made this entire season, I'm shocked that he even made it to the season finale, to be honest with you. So, Jabari's sitting there like, I know, do you know Drew? Tariq, like, now I know him. I don't know him like that. And then he basically says, like, I know, like, all of this has happened and it was going on. And I know that you're a good kid. So I want you to be the subject of my book. Jabari, so if you know he's, like, selling drugs and he's involved in all this stuff, you just really thought it was okay for you to approach him like, hey, I want you to be a subject of my book. I've been following you, and I know that you sell drugs for Drew. But hey, like, I'm gonna pay you my cash advance. Like, I can get you money. I'm like, but sir, whatever money you were gonna give him, I'm sure he can make that on his own. I was just so confused by the whole conversation. So we see that I was like, he gotta go. I hope he gonna tell Monet what's happening. But instead, he goes to meet with him. He's trying to get money for him and Tasha. And then essentially Kane pop up out of nowhere talking about, see, I knew you was a snitch. And I was like, Kane, bruh, like, I don't know how many different ways somebody got to tell you. I don't know if we need to say it in Espanol for you to be able to get it a little bit better. But why are you so worried? Tariq not worried about you the way that you worry about him. And so Tariq talks him into basically, give me the gun, I'll take care of this. Jabari, like, please, Tariq, don't shoot me, Tariq, don't shoot me. And I was just like, boy, go ahead and kill him. I'm not even okay with you killing people and stuff like that, but if anyone deserved it, it's Jabari. Go ahead and get rid of him. So he ends up shooting him, but then before he got to do this whole monologue, baby, like, I didn't kill my daddy, I killed my best friend. I was just like, sir, it's like we didn't learn from the video confession at the grave for you to stop having these confessions in the middle of public places. You were at a park. Like, why are we doing another confession? And then Kane sitting up here like, Octavia Spencer from my, like, I see what's going on. I was just like, I'm just happy Jabari did, okay? Lord, charge it to my heart, mind, not my heart. But you know, he was tripping. The Lord knew when he wrote out Jabari's life that he was like, now this a dang on fool here. Like, I can't even help Jabari, okay? So, yeah, so Jabari dead, and he should have been dead. He better stay dead. So, I don't know what the heck else is going to happen with that. But we see that. So when Tasha goes to tell Monet that she wants to, like, get Tariq out of the game, I like that she came to her and not her husband because she understands what that's like. And her and Monet actually have a lot more in common than they think. But we see that the place ended up getting shot up. I'm like, girls, the Rico people retaliating against you. What is happening? And then when I saw the car drive off, I said, oh my God, they're going to give us Tommy. But this was like the part when I thought it was over. I thought that it was going to be like end scene. And then I was like, oh, but it's still going. And then I paused it. I was like, dang, we got 20 minutes left. Like, wow. So Tasha shook. She go run and tell Tariq, like, hey, we gotta go. Like, he finna kill me. And I was like, yes, sis. Like, I don't know. I mean, I thought Tommy would have came sooner when the first time when you named him at the beginning of the season. But it was so happy. It was so nice to see Tommy again. To see him, get on Tariq, tell him he gonna beat us behind, and I just missed him so much. I just missed him. I know that Kane is supposed to be like the Tommy of book 2 Ghost, but it's just seeing Tommy again, it just touched my soul. It blessed my heart. He's so crazy. You don't know what the hell was gonna happen the rest of the episode, and they did not disappoint. But Tariq actually came up with a great idea, because he ends up coming up with this plan of have Davis tell Sax. Actually, Sax, y'all just read. Okay, sorry. Another side note. Why do y'all keep trying to push Sax down our throat? We don't like Sax. I've never cared for Sax. I tolerate Sax because he's funny at times and he just does stupid things, and I just get entertained by the dumb decisions that he makes and see how he weasels his little privilege behind out of it. But when he was knocking up old girl, I was like, okay, Sax. Okay, Sax. Because at first I was like, who is having sex with this white lady? Lord, we're going to have another Angela on our hands. But then when I realized it was Sax, I was like, okay, all right, Sax. I still don't know why they keep pushing you on us. But they come up with this whole plan. So they tell him that Tommy back in town and he done stole his mama car. He trying to kill Tasha. So they create this whole diversion. The car blew up. I was like, now y'all know Tommy Raggedy behind is not dead after all of that. So it was a setup in order to clear everyone's name, so the FBI would stop looking into Tommy because Tommy's dead at this point. So I like that they basically set up Tommy's show, which I was totally here for, because, you know, I like that he's still taking care of Keisha. Son checking up on him and stuff like that. And actually, speaking of Keisha, I know this has nothing to do with this week's episode, but last week, are we supposed to not think that that was like Keisha's house from Power? Is that just me? Like, that was like, this is clearly Keisha's house. Y'all just don't insult our intelligence like we didn't know that. But I was like, it's okay, I'll let it slide. But I just wanted to know if anybody else noticed that, because I noticed it. So yeah, so so that happened. And essentially, I was like, I just don't see how Tommy's gonna let this go, because I was confused when Tyreek brought up Keisha. I was like, now, you know your mama's supposed to be dead because she killed Keisha. Why would you even bring that up? So we see that they at the graveyard again. Tasha talking to her baby, and then we see Tommy pop up after Tariq is talking to her. He pop up with the gun. I was like, I knew his little crazy behind was finna try to shoot her. And so, but then we see that Tariq ends up calling in a threat against Tasha, so they would put her in WITSEC, which I saw coming, because I was just like, she's trying to get you out of the game, and it's clear that you're not really trying to leave the game, and you keep digging yourself a deeper hole, so there's no way, and y'all can't run, because if you run, you can't get your dad's money. So I didn't even understand what Tasha, I mean, I guess she was just trying to be a good mother, and she didn't want anything to happen to her son, but I was just like, sis, like, if y'all need this money, what are you about to do? So then she said she's going to leave Yasmin. I said, here y'all go, ignoring Yasmin. And then when Sax got Yasmin's name wrong, I was like, well, I mean, y'all never show us this baby. We forget you had 3 kids in the first place, because y'all always act like Yasmin didn't exist. But I think I love when Tommy basically chokes up Tariq after the police leave. But babe, when I tell you they snatched Tasha like she was the president of the United States, and Secret Service just came and snatched her all the way up, I was just like, dang, y'all okay? I don't feel like y'all really would have been that aggressive about trying to protect her, being that you were just trying to put her in jail. But okay, I mean, I guess y'all really trying to earn y'all paycheck this episode. But when Tommy snatched him up, and then a gun got pulled on him, and he was like, who got the balls to pull a gun on me? And I was like, ooh, I miss Tommy. But when I saw it was Monet, I said, you better. Then Diana rolled up like she was really finna do something. I was like, sis, what you finna do? But she rolled up. I was like, okay, look at Tariq got his own little crew and stuff. So I don't know what the heck. Tommy ended up leaving. And he said, you ain't gonna never see me again. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. As long as you still got your show coming out, I don't really care who you see, baby, as long as we get to see Tommy. But I'm trying to think, did I miss anything? Yeah, Everett Raggedy behind snitched on his boo thing, Drew, which I was just like, I mean, it is what it is. I was just like, okay, like we knew he wasn't loyal anyway to begin with. And also too, Monet didn't have to bust in on Kane before he can get his little thing off. And then he ended up telling her about Ramirez, and then she's upset. And this is after her husband told her to go make peace with him, but she was just like, I can't even do it. But and the thing that I did see coming was basically Davis asking Sax Raggedy behind to work with him. So we're gonna deal with Sax for a whole nother season. I'm totally okay with Method Man being on the next season, but I'm tired of Sax. But I knew that was gonna happen. Ain't gonna do nothing but fail up, because that's what they do. But I was very impressed with this episode. If I forgot some other stuff, child, just I forgot. I'm tired. But this was a really good episode. This is how you do a finale. And I really enjoyed it because they did such a great job of setting Tommy's show up, of really thrusting Tariq's story to the forefront. I really felt as though from this season, we were tying up loose ends from Power. Almost to the point where I was like, well, we could have just introduced all of this with another season of Power without Ghost and then went into Power Book 2. But I'm really happy to see where they go with this next season. What's going to happen with Course Correct, how he's going to balance his love triangle between him, Effie, Curtis Supposed to Love Me, Lauren, and Diana. To see the fallout now with Kane and his family, because at this point he's gone too far. Like, he doesn't think in this unlikely partnership between Kane and Tariq as he promises to get him back into the fold of his family. And so I'm interested to see how all of these things play out. But I thought this episode was so good. I still can't stand Zeke and Carrie's whole storyline, but it's whatever. And baby Zeke, when he's scared, he sounds like a little country bumpkin. I was like, baby, why are you this scared? You didn't know your family was this crazy? But I think that they did a really great job setting up season 2. I'm really excited to see where we go with this. I loved having Tommy back. I think that was just so well done how they brought Tommy back. I really want to know what this means for Notori, if she's going to be in Witsec. Is she not going to be on the show anymore? Like, I don't know, but I'm interested to see what's going to come of that. And will we ever see Yasmin again? Will Yasmin be a whole teenager when she comes back again, even though that much time has not elapsed? Who's going to know? We will never know. But I hope that I get to see Tamika again, because I love how she slayed that courtroom scene. They did the courtroom scene so good. The courtroom scene was so good. The whole episode was good, y'all. Child, I can't even go to sleep, even though I know my ragged behind is supposed to be in bed. But those are my, just bravo, well done, just great. Michael Rainey, sir, you have done such a great job as Tariq. I know you're not watching this, but it's okay. I'm still gonna talk to you like you're watching. He's done such a great job of taking a character that the entire world hated and finally embracing, as Effie said, Carter's supposed to love me, the monster that he is. And I like that when Tommy says, you're just like him. You are just like your father. So, like, just accept it. I like that he's coming to accept who he is at this point. The monster, the Frankenstein, you see, because they be trying to teach us something, too, with the whole classroom scenes. But I just thought this was, like, so good. Like, if they can keep this momentum up, I'm totally here for season 2. But those are my thoughts on Power Book 2 Ghost, episode 10, Heart of Darkness. As always, my name is Sharona from Payer Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000, and until I see you again, bye.